So it's kind of gone under the radar, but recently in the last week, the Sony A7IV has gone under a major price drop. So today we're going to talk about why and a couple of reasons why I think that might be happening. So the Sony A7IV is an incredibly popular camera. I don't think it lived up quite as much to the A7 III's hype, but it still was an incredibly popular choice for a lot of people, and it came out with a price of $2,500. Now if we head over to the Amazon page here, you'll notice that it has dropped now to $2,000, so $1,998. Always these weird numbers. But anyway, so it's dropped down to this incredibly low price, $500 off. That's a pretty significant price drop, and even now you can see you can find it used for $1,800, which I think is a really good price. I've seen people trying to sell them used for $2,200, so the fact that you can now get them new for $2,000 I think is pretty crazy. One thing I thought was interesting is that the Sony A7C II has not gone on sale. Obviously that is a newer camera and came out a lot more recently, but with it being kind of supposed to be like the budget sort of lightweight option of the A7IV, it's interesting that it has not gone on sale. Even the used prices on Amazon are higher than the A7IV's used prices. Now I think this is down to at least one of two things that has caused this price drop. First off, which I think most people are hoping for, and I put in the thumbnail of this video, is maybe that we're going to be seeing the Sony A7V released here pretty soon. We know that they've been working on it and we don't know quite when it's coming out. Now I personally don't know a whole lot of what to expect for the Sony A7V. Hopefully they do something interesting. Hopefully they throw like 32-bit float internal recording or something like that. That would be pretty cool. And if they just started to do something a little bit new that would catch some people's eyes. So I think it's quite likely that the reason the prices dropped of the A7IV is because that the A7V is about to come out hopefully pretty soon. But we'll see. Obviously time will tell. Another reason that I think that the Sony A7IV dropped its price is the competition, right? Other camera companies have started releasing full frame cameras at a much lower price than any Sony offering right now. And it feels like Sony's kind of falling behind. I say falling behind. It does feel a little bit like they're falling behind in the entry level market when it comes to full frame cameras. Nikon coming out with their Z5 Mark II, even, Lumix coming out with the S9. Love it or hate it, it is an incredibly cheap introduction into the full frame ecosystem. Same with the Z5 II offering raw internal in the camera for only like $1,600 is absolutely crazy. The cheapest Sony camera until now for full frame has been the Sony A7C II at $2,200, which is a whole lot more than these other entry-level offerings. So either the prices drop because the A7V is about to come out, or it's because they're actually beginning to see, hey, we need to make a little bit more competitive pricing. Obviously, all of this is up in the air because of the tariffs. If tariffs come in and hike up the prices again, then if you're wanting to get an A7IV, today's the day to go buy it, because we never know what's going to happen at the time of this recording. But it's safe to say that no matter what it is, whether it's the A7V coming out or if it's just the competition starting to put a little bit of pressure on Sony to release more affordable cameras, this is good for us buyers, right? This is something that I think is always exciting, no matter what side of the fence you're on, whether you love Sony, hate Sony, love Lumix, hate Lumix, whatever, or whether you're a Nikon shooter or Canon shooter, whatever, it's always good when competition comes in and starts to reduce prices and make people have to pump out a little bit higher quality gear for lower amounts of money. So us as the consumers, we get to benefit from all of this, which I think is great. So I'm probably going to try and pick myself up an A7IV. I'm going to look on the used markets to see how cheap that we're able to get them now. But all that to say, I just figured I'd put a video out there to let you know that if you're interested in a Sony A7IV, now is the time to buy it because they're on sale and we don't know how long that sale is going to last, if it's a permanent thing, or if the tariffs are going to end up hiking the price back up to what they were originally. So I'm going to leave links down below. Obviously, those usually are affiliates. I'm also going to leave a non-affiliate link down below, so if you don't want to support the channel in that way, that's totally fine. Just use that non-affiliate one. But if you're interested in any of the gear that I use to make these videos, or if you want to check out any of the videos on the channel, I would appreciate you for doing so. This is a short little video. Just thought I'd let you know out there. It probably could have been a short, but I hate making shorts. So here we are. Hope you have a great day.